So, I wanted to give my thoughts on this trailer. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Japan has been a long time coming. Everyone's been asking for it basically since the series began. And of course, you got Ghost of Tsushima that came out and basically did it first. And I've never played it, but as far as I know, they did it right. And so when I heard the leaks for this game, when they were talking about this female shinobi and Yasuke, I was told that this Yasuke character is based on a real life person who was a samurai, right? So I'm like, okay, I can see I can see Ubisoft taking this approach to maybe stay visually different from Ghost of Tsushima. Like, sure, for me, I was pretty much okay with this, but not knowing much, like at all, about that history, and now I'm finding out apparently this character wasn't even a samurai. Now I think it's woke. If this character wasn't even a samurai, why did you guys bring him into this game? I think we know why. Anyways, I'm gonna get into this. So, as with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, what we've seen from this game so far, just based on, I guess, this trailer, and also how the developers have been talking about this game, there seems to be a severe lack of attention on the Assassin versus Templar conflict. A fucking again. Um, so you had Origins, which was supposed to be about the origins of the Brotherhood, but it barely was. They did a little bit of that at the end of the game, and that was it. They didn't even talk about the Creed. They kept using the word Creed 100 times in the game, but they never said the Assassin's Creed in the game. Then you have Odyssey, which is like, what, hundreds of years before the Brotherhood even exists? And the developers were talking this game up like it was going to have this free will versus control ideological battle.
There's this underlying contrast of like order and free will.
You would have proto-assassins, and you would also have the Templars, which existed at that point as the Order of the Ancients. The Order of the Ancients weren't even in that game until you get to the DLC. Odyssey had some fucking made-up cult that has nothing to do with anything that you were fighting against. So that game was shit, not just because of that, a lot of other reasons. And then you have Valhalla, which was written by one of the best writers for Assassin's Creed, Darby McDevitt. He is a guy who really understands the lore. And as he explained, he basically did everything he could with what he was told to do. So he included these two assassin characters in the game, but they maybe had like 10 minutes of screen time total. And then one of them ends up being like a bad guy anyways, which is just stupid. So you did have sort of a small amount of Assassin versus Templar conflict in Valhalla, but not really, because 99% of the game is just playing as a Viking and doing Viking shit. And that's been an issue since Black Flag, because in Black Flag, that game was advertised as being about a pirate trained by assassins, or a pirate turned assassin, or a pirate assassin, whatever. You're a pirate in that game for 99% of the time, and then you kind of become sympathetic towards the assassins at the end. Edward doesn't become an assassin until he goes back to England, like in a book or some shit. So anyways, in that game, you're playing as a pirate. In Origins, you're playing as a Magi. In Odyssey, you're playing as a Spartan or a Misthios or Eagle Bearer. In Valhalla, you're playing as a Viking. Finally, in Mirage, you're actually playing as an assassin, but the game is so short, it's got no modern day in it. It's just nothing, basically. In this game, oh god, I'm gonna get into it when I get through this trailer here, but this game seems to be about, the shinobi and the samurai, which it should be, but you need to have the Assassin-Templar conflict in here too, and it just doesn't look like it is. So I'm gonna get started.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life. I will end.
So this is cool. You might be thinking like, wow, what an interesting start to an Assassin's Creed trailer. Here's the world that we're going to be playing in. This is going to be so cool. What's the Assassin and Templar conflict going to be? I'm willing to bet this game's going to have nothing to do with Assassins and Templars. Maybe about as much as Valhalla had to do with it.
Our customs. My family.
So this guy on the left is apparently a real-life historical character who, from what I've heard, is a ninja. But instead of playing as him, we're playing as his fictional daughter who never existed. Okay.
Burns in the name of unification.
And I know this looks cool and it's all dramatic and shit, but I know this trailer is not going to have any assassin iconography. It's not going to have any Templar shit in it. It's not going to have anything that connects to the overarching story of the rest of the franchise, because that's what they love to do with each of these games outside of like Mirage. The attention is primarily focused on the historical backdrop and not what it's supposed to be about. That's, like I've said 100 times, it's Assassins and Templars.
You are still a frog in a well who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed. Power.
So when he says the ocean is filled with new ships, I don't really know what he's talking about. I don't know.
Vengeance.
Like, I don't know if he means that literally or if this is just like some poetic metaphorical shit. And that's just another problem I have with this trailer. It tells you nothing about the story. It's just people talking in like riddles, like it's the fucking Walking Dead or something.
And you? Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
And we must look for it together.
Cringe. So this scene, I have no fucking idea what's happening here.
We must learn to trust, rebuild.
And follow the blade.
So why is the little girl looking at him like that? Is it because he's black, or is it because he's in samurai armor? I don't really know what the hell's going on there. What the fuck does she mean by follow the blade? Does she mean like let's become assassins? What do you mean by that? Also, this is cringe because in the initial like preview kind of animation they showed for Codename Red, she actually did have the assassin beak on her hood, and now it's fucking gone. Okay, with the grapple hook shit, a lot of people hate that. I really don't mind that. I didn't hate the rope launcher in Syndicate as much as a lot of people did. I don't know. I wish they would have built up that these were Templars so I could be like, yeah, kill those fuckers. But at this point, it's just a ninja fighting generic Japanese people. Which would have been interesting if this wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. So this is cringe and I hate this. It's just a big brawly dude with a giant weapon just causing chaos. Where's the Assassin's Creed here? Like, fuck off.
I said, who do you serve?
He was not there. Look at this. He's not there.
We are the shadows.
We are the shadows. Nothing in this fucking trailer led up to him saying that. He's just doing fucking samurai shit the whole time. And suddenly he's talking about working in the dark to serve the light. It's like 99% of this trailer. It's just historical Japanese backdrop. Ubisoft just advertising what the game's gonna look like in terms of its setting and all that shit. And then they're like, oh yeah, this is an Assassin's Creed game. We gotta put some shit at the end.
That served the light.
So, fuck off with this shit. So, I'm not gonna be pre-ordering this. This is cringe as fuck. Fuck all of that. Yeah, so 99.99% of that trailer was just, hey, this is Japan with a black guy, diversity. And then the last couple seconds of the trailer, they're talking about being shadows who serve the light or some shit because, oh, it's Assassin's Creed. We almost forgot. Again, if this was just a Japan game, you know, outside of the black character that's pissing everybody off, it might have been fine. But this is Assassin's Creed, and you guys aren't fucking treating it like that. And you haven't been for the last however many years. So again, let me just reiterate. I don't give a shit if there's a black dude in this because, like, if he really did exist as a samurai, and there's, like, something unique about the fact that he's a foreigner or whatever, and you can maybe do something with that, fine. But apparently, he wasn't that. And he was only in Japan for a year from what I've been told. So, like, why bring this guy into this game if he isn't what you're saying he was? It's just cringe. Everything about this is cringe. People wanted to play as a Japanese man, and we didn't get that with this. At least that's what I've been seeing all over the internet. God knows how terrible the modern day is going to be in this. With Valhalla, we ended with Basim, like, surviving into the modern day. Apparently, he's Loki also, which is fucking terrible. So he's not even Basim anymore. His motivations completely changed when he became Loki. I don't know. He's trying to, like, reunite with his dead family and shit. You guys should have never killed Desmond. This is a dead franchise outside of making millions of dollars. It's been dead in regards to its storyline. You can already see the animus effects in the background here resemble what they've kind of looked like at the past 3 or 4 games. So the present day is going to be garbage if there is any. And I care about the present day because it's part of that overarching narrative that every one of these games was supposed to have. It's the only connective tissue that you have between games. And that's what I used to appreciate about it. It's cool to see what's going on with the Assassins and Templars in these historical eras. Also, you can see what's going on in the present day. Like, holy shit, that's cool. But they've just essentially dropped that shit. Anyways, I'm going to end this. This whole thing pissed me off. I'm not having a good day. Goodbye.